Look around you. Next time you drive past your local dealership, I want you to really look at the lot. What do you see? 2 years ago, that asphalt was empty. You had to beg a salesman just to get on a waiting list for a Toyota RAV4 or a Ford F-150. You paid $5,000 over sticker price, and you said thank you for the privilege of overpaying. But today, in early 2026, that lot is overflowing. They are parking cars on the grass. They are parking them in the back alley. The inventory is piling up like dirty laundry, and the dealerships are sweating. They won't tell you this. They are still running ads pretending there is a shortage. They are still trying to hit you with market adjustments. But the data I'm looking at right now tells a completely different story. We are watching a massive market correction in real time. The bubble that blew up in 2022 didn't just leak, it popped. And right now, millions of Americans are driving cars that are worth half of what they owe on them. The party is over. The bill is due. And if you're thinking about signing a contract for a new car today, you need to stop. You are about to walk into a financial buzzsaw. Let's talk about why this is happening. It's not magic, it's math. For years, we had free money. Interest rates were near zero. You could walk into a dealership with a pulse and a pay stub and drive out with a $60,000 truck at 1.9% APR. It felt free. But the Federal Reserve took away the punch bowl. We have been living with elevated interest rates for a while now. And even though they talk about cuts, the auto loan rates for the average guy, for you, haven't come down enough. The average new car loan rate is still hovering around 7 to 8%. If you have subprime credit, you're looking at 14, maybe 18%. Let's translate that into reality. Let's say you finance $40,000 for a new crossover at 8% interest over 72 months. You aren't just paying back the $40,000, you are paying nearly $11,000 in interest alone. Think about how much you earn an hour after taxes, after the IRS takes their cut. Maybe you take home $25 an hour. That means you have to work 440 hours. That is 11 full weeks of your life just to pay the interest to the bank. You are working 3 months of the year just to rent the money to buy the car. That is not an asset. That is a liability that eats your time. So, money is expensive. That means fewer people can buy. But here's the problem for the manufacturers. They didn't stop building. During the pandemic, they realized they could make record profits by building fewer cars and charging more. But corporate greed is a funny thing. They couldn't help themselves. They ramped production back up. Now we have a situation where supply has massively outpaced demand. I'm looking at the day's supply data right now. This is the industry term for how long a car sits on the lot before it sells. A healthy market is about 60 days. Right now, some brands, especially the big American truck makers and some of the luxury imports, are sitting on 100, 120, sometimes 140 days of supply. That is almost half a year of cars just sitting there, rotting in the sun, paying floor plan interest. The dealers are desperate. They are bleeding cash every day those cars sit there, but they're playing a game of chicken with you. They are refusing to lower the sticker price because they don't want to admit the value has collapsed. They are hoping you are uninformed. They are hoping you just look at the monthly payment and don't ask about the total price. But inventory is only half the story. The other half is darker. It's what's happening in the driveways of your neighbors. We are seeing a spike in delinquencies that rivals 2008. People bought cars in 2023 that they couldn't afford, using stimulus money as down payments, betting that their overtime pay would last forever. It didn't. Now, inflation has eaten their grocery budget, insurance premiums have doubled, and they have to choose between paying the car note or paying the rent. The repo man is busier than he's been in a decade. Banks are taking back thousands of cars every week. And where do those cars go? They go to auction. When the auction lanes flood with repossessed cars, the wholesale prices drop. When wholesale prices drop, your trade-in value drops. This is the negative equity trap. Let's say you bought a car 3 years ago. You rolled over some debt from the previous car. You paid a markup.
Now you owe $35,000 on a car that is worth $22,000 at auction. You are $13,000 upside down. You are underwater. If you try to trade that car in today, the dealer will smile and say, "No problem, we'll just roll that $13,000 into your new loan." Do not do it. That is how you turn a $50,000 car into an $80,000 debt. That is how you guarantee you will never build wealth. You are paying interest on a car you don't even own anymore. It is financial servitude. We have to talk about electric vehicles. Look, I'm not here to debate the politics of it. I'm here to talk about your wallet. And right now, buying a new EV is one of the fastest ways to burn cash I have ever seen. The early adopters have already bought. The mass market, the regular folks, they are hesitant. They are worried about charging. They are worried about range. But mostly, they are looking at the resale values. An EV is not a car in the traditional sense. It is a piece of consumer electronics. It is a giant iPhone on wheels. And what happens to your iPhone 14 when the iPhone 16 comes out? It becomes obsolete. We are seeing one-year-old EVs losing 30, sometimes 40% of their value. If you buy a $60,000 EV today, you might be lucky to get $35,000 for it in 2 years. That's $25,000 vanishing into thin air. That is over $1,000 a month in pure depreciation loss. That is money you earned, gone. If you lease, maybe. Let the manufacturer take the risk. But buying new, you are catching a falling knife. The technology is moving too fast. The battery tech in 2028 will make the 2026 tech look ancient. So, how do dealers move metal in this environment? How do they sell overpriced cars to people who can't afford them? They manipulate the only number most Americans look at, the monthly payment. If you answer that question, you have already lost the negotiation. To keep that payment low while interest rates are high, they are extending loan terms. 60 months was usually standard, then 72. Now I'm seeing 84-month loans. I'm seeing 96-month loans.
8 years. Think about that. You are signing a contract to pay for a car for 8 years. In year 6, that car will be out of warranty. It will need repairs. It will have dents. The transmission might slip, and you will still be making payments on it like it's new. This is predatory. They are locking you into a cycle of debt that keeps you poor. Listen, the automotive industry spends billions of dollars on marketing to make you feel smart for signing these bad deals. They employ psychologists to design their showrooms. They train their finance managers to overcome your objections. You are walking into a professional fight, and you are the amateur. I am here to even the odds. I am here to give you the playbook they don't want you to have. If you want the truth that the dealers hide and you want to protect your family's financial future, hit that subscribe button. Let's stop being the prey. Let's get back to the math, because the sticker price is just the entry fee. In 2026, the silent killer of your budget is car insurance. Have you looked at your renewal lately? Rates are up 20–30% across the country. In some states, they're up 50%. Why? Because cars have become computers. A fender bender in 2010 cost $500 to fix. A fender bender today? You hit a sensor in the bumper that controls the lane assist and the adaptive cruise control. That is a $3,000 repair. Insurers are passing those costs directly to you. So let's look at the real monthly cost of that average new car. The payment is $750. The insurance is $200 if you have a clean record. Gas or charging is $150. Maintenance and tires amortized is another $50. You are looking at $1,150 a month net after tax money. That is almost $14,000 a year. If you make $60,000 a year, you are taking home maybe $45,000. You are spending almost 30% of your take-home pay just to get to work. That is why you feel broke. That is why you can't save for a house. That is why your credit card balance isn't going down. Your car is eating your future. There is some good news. The market adjustment stickers are disappearing. Dealers are starting to panic. They're calling customers they haven't spoken to in 3 years. Hey, we need your trade-in. It's a script. They don't need your trade-in. They need to sell you a new unit to hit their manufacturer bonus. We are seeing incentives come back. Low APR offers subsidized by the manufacturer. Cash on the hood. But be careful. Just because a car has a $3,000 discount doesn't mean it's a good deal if the MSRP was inflated by $10,000 to begin with. The manufacturers raised prices so much in 2023 and 2024 that even with a discount, the prices are historically absurd. Do not let a discount trick you into overpaying. Look at the historical data. Look at what that model sold for 3 years ago. So what do? Walk or take the bus? No, I know you need a car. This is America. Here's the realist insider strategy for 2026. First, patience is your leverage. The longer you wait, the more desperate they get. Inventory is growing. Time is on your side. If you have a car that runs, keep driving it. Fix it. A $2,000 repair bill is cheaper than a $30,000 depreciation hit. Second, buy used, but be selective. Let someone else take the depreciation hit. Look for cars that are 3 or 4 years old. The depreciation curve flattens out. Let the first guy pay the new car premium. Third, financing. Get pre-approved by a credit union before you ever step foot on a lot. Credit unions often have rates 1 or 2% lower than the dealer's banks. If the dealer can beat it, great, but walk in with a shield. Fourth, the 23-8 rule. If you must buy, use this rule to keep yourself safe. 20% down. If you can't put 20% down, you can't afford the car. It protects you from being underwater. 3 years or 36 months. If you have to finance it for 6 or 7 years to afford the payment, you are buying too much car. And 8% of your income. Your payment shouldn't be more than 8% of your gross income. Most people fail this test, but this test is the difference between building wealth and drowning in debt. The car market of 2026 is a minefield. The dealerships are sitting on a time bomb of inventory, and they're looking for someone to hold the bag. Don't let it be you. Don't fall for the shiny paint. Don't fall for the new car smell. That smell is just the scent of evaporating money. Stay disciplined. Drive your old car until the wheels fall off. And when you do buy with a calculator, not with your heart. Thanks for watching. I'm just a guy on YouTube reading the charts and trying to make sense of the madness. So always do your own homework and check your own budget before signing anything. See you in the next one.